Good evening, Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome to the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sɪᴛᴜᴛᴜ. Every Wednesday from 4 p.m. all the way to 4:30 p.m., we have 90 minutes of conversations regarding politics, socio-economic issues that border around our operation as a nation, and also some of the interactions that we even have with international communities and the impacts that it has on us as a country. Sɪᴛᴜᴛᴜ is my name once again. Every Wednesday from 4 p.m. we get to have interesting conversations here in the Situation Room. There are literally no boundaries to the conversations that we can have. As long as it's a situation that is happening within the country and beyond, we definitely would be more than excited to bring these conversations to the forefront. Well, today on the show, we're going to do something that we have been doing as always, which is bringing to you information that is relevant to what is happening in our environment. And it is a no-brainer that the security situation of the country is something worthy of conversation. We've had multiple reports of killings that for some reason continue unabated. We're also hearing about the efforts of our security agencies and what they're trying to do to minimize, at least to the best of their ability, the number of killings and the carnage that have been reported in different regions of the country. We're going to, of course, give you updates on what has been happening and just have a general conversation about insecurity in the country with an emphasis on the position of the law. What are the provisions of the law regarding dealing with insecurity in the country? I'm going to, of course, have a guest join me, which is going to be the first segment of conversations for today. We have two major conversations for you, but the first one happens to be insecurity in the country, like I said before, with emphasis on what the law says regarding how much power we have when we're trying to mitigate insecurity in the country. Now, for the second half of the program, we're going to talk about accountability within government. What are the questions that we should be asking the government, with a lot of emphasis on our ministries, departments, our agencies, and our parastatals? And it's a no-brainer. You know why this conversation is coming on radio. Better Edu has been the center of conversation for a couple days now, and I thought, of course, it's wise to bring it to the Situation Room, as that is one situation that we're currently discussing about in the country. But don't let us jump the gun. Let's take this one after the other. The first conversation for today happens to be insecurity, and like I said, we're focusing on what the law says, the position of the law when it comes to dealing with insecurity in the country. I'm of course going to be joined by a guest. His name is Alex Okonkwo. He's a security analyst and a political commentator. We're going to have him join us virtually for at least the first 45 minutes to talk about insecurity. But before I introduce my guest, I would like to provide you with certain details regarding the state of security in the country. Before I go on to do that, please be aware that we are streaming live on our Facebook and YouTube platform, so please do well to go to Facebook, or if you like YouTube and you can watch us live in the studio, you can definitely drop your submissions real time as we proceed with the interview. If there's a submission you like to make, if there's a contribution you like to make, and you know the phone lines are not open at that time, you can just go to Facebook, type in your submission, and when I open the phone lines and start to take public opinion, I'll be sure to read those messages. So once again, check us on Facebook and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM. Now, as promised, with regards to insecurity in the country, in furtherance to the consecutive attacks that we've seen in Plateau State, bandits on Sunday attacked travelers on the Abuja-Kaduna highway, and they abducted over 30 people. The last time an abduction of this magnitude has happened along that route was in 2023, I believe, in March, when about 23 people were abducted. Also, 7 people were reportedly killed in a renewed attack by gunmen in Logo local government area of Benue State. And as a proactive measure to stem this tide of attacks, we had the African Director, International Association of World Peace Advocates, Dr. John Meche, who urged the president to give assent to the Nigeria Hunters and Forest Security Service Bill, which would empower, also, embolden officers of the law in the fight against criminals that hide in the different forests in the country. Also, there's been many questions asked about why do we continue to see an increase in insecurity in the country. Well, prominent Nigerians have tried to answer that particular question, and the most recent happens to be the former Commonwealth Secretary General, Emeka Anyaoku, who said that this ugly trend of killing is because there has been a non-prosecution of the bandits, even the ones that we know one-on-one. There's been a non-prosecution, there's been no arrest, there's been no convictions, and that is why these individuals are emboldened and continue to attack people of the country. Well, on that note, I believe we can start to ask the right questions, and we're going to do so as we have our guest, Alex Okonkwo, security analyst and political commentator, join us virtually today in the Situation Room to discuss insecurity in the country. I think we have Alex on the line now. Hello. Good evening. Thank you for joining us, Alex Okonkwo. Hello. Hello. Okay, let's try this again. We're going to try to get him back on the line, and the minute we do that, we're going to proceed with conversations. Don't forget that you're still listening to the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Sage Babalola. I'm going to be joined by Alex Okonkwo as we discuss insecurity in the country. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, and after this conversation with Alex, we're still going to talk about accountability in government with regard to our ministry departments and agencies. Alex, good evening to you, rather. Hello. Let's go on a brief break, all right, so that we can start this conversation on the right ground. This is the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't go anywhere.
Mainland 98.3 FM, your number one radio, reaching the stars, the sound of Lagos.
Dear Nigerians, I am determined, I repeat, to give you the affordable and reliable power.
The stakes are higher than ever.
Government policy does not support youth in this country. So if you say you have any idea, one day, one way or the other.
The conversations are louder than imagined. The expectations are greater. The demand for quality blueprints needed to make informed decisions is constantly being reviewed.
You can't start hiding under party or anything. We are leaders that are entrusted by our people. Come and speak on their behalf.
The Situation Room on 98.3 Mainland FM provides the platform where all of your demands are met. Issue-based conversations about politics, policies, leadership and governance in Nigeria and around the world. Join us every Mondays through Fridays from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. as we engage and interact towards setting the agenda for proper accountability and public engagements. The Situation Room is here. We welcome the roommates.
Welcome back. Thank you for standing by. The conversation is about to begin. I have Alex Okonkwo joining me via the phone lines. I believe that we've been able to resolve that situation. Good evening to you, Alex. Can you hear me? Hello? All right then. I guess sometimes technology gets the best of us. Anyways, some of the things we're going to be discussing with Alex when we finally get him on the phone line. We have quite a number of things to talk about. We want to talk about, first things first, how the government has been able to handle this particular situation when it comes to insecurity. Some of the decisions that they have made. What are the implications of these decisions? Have they been very useful in abating the insecurity that we've been suffering in the country? We're also going to have a conversation about the allegations of complicity of certain government officials when it comes to insecurity, because many people say that the fact that these bandits, these terrorists, are so emboldened, they continue to consecutively attack even the same places over a period of time. What exactly does this mean? There are also conversations about, the decisions to grant amnesty to these bandits, the decision to give them some sort of relief in a bit to, incorporate them back into society because for some reason they believe that they are repented and they've gone through a training program, that now makes them citizens, or it makes them worthy of reincorporation into the society. Many people have said that this is a mistake. What if these individuals are only pretending and they're something of sleeper cells? We've had conversations about prison break and how it may be tightly related to the continuous insecurity that we've seen in the country. These are some of the major talking points that we need answers to. And who best to join us to answer these questions if not somebody who has an understanding of the security architecture of the country and even the security architecture of many other countries, who can give us professional insight into these matters. Hello, Alex. Are you able to hear me? All right then. Let's go on a break. Let's go on a break because I really want us to get the best of this conversation. All right. We sincerely apologize for technological glitches like this one. We understand it can be quite frustrating. All right. I think we have Alex now. Alex, good evening. We apologize. Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
I don't think we're able to hear you clearly, so we might not be able to enjoy this conversation. So what we're going to do is try to call you back, and then we can try this again. All right.
I'm trying to say that we should use the first line you have, the first number you have. All
right. Let's try a different number. All right. Let's try a different number. All right. Thank you very much. All right, we're going to try to get Alex back on a different phone number. Hopefully the connection is better. Then please stick with us. The conversation will commence once we have our guest online.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Clouds go gray, thunder roars and the earth sings. The season's just beginning. Sunlight it hides as the clouds make way for the pouring of my blessings. I will not be afraid. I see it now, I understand, I know. So I embrace it, dance in the rain. It's for my seed to grow. For every prayer and every seed I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping back 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's harvest is ready. The Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. It's green for me. Standing alone can be a heavy load, but my vows I won't be breaking. Though my heart is aching, I got a word and I won't let go. It's your will I'm seeking, so I keep on believing. I see it now, I understand, I know, so I embrace it, dance. Once again it's time for me to grow. For every prayer and every tear I've sown, Lord of the harvest knows I'm reaping joy 100-fold. The land is green, it's green, oh, oh. The land is green, it's green. Can't you see? The harvest is ready, 'cause the Lord of the harvest told me so. It's green for me. I thought it was over, thought you were done with me, but we're just beginning. Whoa, my life is a journey. I will walk with you, I will go.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Welcome back once again. We sincerely apologize for the delay. Sometimes, like I said, technology can be a big problem, but we found an alternative and we're going to be able to have a conversation with Alex Okonkwo. Remember that we're talking about insecurity in the country. We're going to be talking about the position of the law. What does the law say about how much power we have when it comes to engaging these bandits or these terrorists, if you like, regardless of the nomenclature? What exactly they do is the same. They cause havoc, they cause carnage, they cause killing, they cause people to lose their lives and their property. So it doesn't really matter what we call them. The things that they do remain the same. Alex Okonkwo is going to be joining us and we're going to be asking him a number of questions like I detailed earlier. Good evening, Alex Okonkwo. Nice to have you.
Good evening. Thank you very much, and good evening to everybody.
Yes, thank you so very much for joining us. All right, we've wasted quite a number of time, so I really want us to, move along as quickly as we can. Anyways, I will be preaching to the choir, right, if I start to narrate the woes of many local government areas, many states across the country, and the evil that they've had to experience. I know the Plateau State happens to be at the center of conversation right now. Benue State, Kaduna State, these are just a few areas that have, gone through the horrible killings and being chased out of their area of residence for a very long time. Now, the government would say that they are deploying certain strategies, or their decision to not use kinetic methods is because they fear that the repercussions may be worse, and so they are choosing to use dialogue. But the people say that this strategy of dialogue that you're choosing, it has not been useful in any way, and in fact it has forced them to start to accuse the government of probably being in cahoot with these bandits. Do you understand, or what is the thought process between the government choosing to dialogue rather than use kinetic methods to draw out and kill these bandits and terrorists that continue to ravage the country?
Well, thank you for that question. It's a good point. It's a good point of start. The issue with Nigerians in general, both government and the people, is that we want quick answers and quick solutions to things that will take more time and need a bit of patience. But we're all guilty of that, I myself included. We want very quick solutions. And then, on the other hand, when I put government in it, I say government also does one factor instead of 10 and believes that it's going to get a solution. Let me explain that. In this problem of banditry and terrorism and violence in general is multifaceted, as in it has multi-causes, which means we cannot have one solution. The solutions themselves have to be multiple, and dialogue is part of it. We just have to define what we mean by dialogue. Dialogue is part of it. Serge, you cannot take the leader of a terrorist group as the same thing as a foot soldier who was incorporated, as the same thing as a mercenary who was paid, as the same thing as the wife who was kidnapped and today has become their wife. Like the Chibok girls. Many of the Chibok girls are married to bandits. The ones that we did not save. They've been there over 10 years. They are married to bandits. They've had children. When you catch them, what do you call them? Are they complice bandits to banditry, or are they bandits themselves? So we cannot have one solution for all. That's why when we do only dialogue, of course it will not work. Just like when we do only bombarding, it will not work. We have to do everything at the same time. So I'm not against the dialogue. I think most Nigerians will not be against dialogue. It just depends on who are we dialoguing with. Who are we discussing with? After all, you and I know that when somebody's kidnapped, what we do is dialogue.
Right.
You never heard of the Nigerian army intervening and killing the kidnappers and bringing out the people. You never had that. It's very rare. What we hear often is that they've been released. Of course, when they've been released, the ransom has been paid. So that means we'd had a form of dialogue at that point. So it is not the word dialogue that is the problem. It is who are we dialoguing with and at what point and for what result. I mean, we'll come into that later, I'm sure, but the whole idea here is to set the basis of this discussion that dialogue in itself is not a problem, and it's part of the solution to our crisis, because the crisis itself has is multiple in terms of the origin, and so we cannot have one solution for all.
All right. So you mean that the people should maybe not interpret the decision of the government to dialogue as some sort of docility. Instead, they're just actually trying to be strategic.
Yes, it is. Exactly what I'm saying. But that comes at a stage. I think the communication itself was wrong. Because I'll tell you right straight away, some of the governors who spoke of dialogue 2-3 years ago are the ones speaking now of their own citizens carrying arms.
Yes.
To mention this, what you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's the same people that were talking of dialogue 3 years ago that even initiated some discussions with bandits, let's call them bandits for now, with bandits. And they're the ones now calling their own citizens to carry arms. So we cannot keep doing those kind of things. Tomorrow now they'll say, let's pray with them. Maybe they will repent. You see what I'm saying? We cannot keep doing those kind of things where we try to find a measure just because a problem has come up. This thing has to be holistic. And we've said it in different occasions when you and I have discussed this. There is a 15 to 20 year thing. So everybody should forget about tomorrow morning bandits leaving Nigeria. No, it's not going to happen. I think bandits are even worse than malaria for us. And nobody has run away with malaria. We've treated malaria. You can do prevention of malaria. You can take anti-malaria tablets. And when you get it, you can also take malaria tablets to cure it. But you know what away from it. Next year, you still probably catch it again. That's exactly what banditry has become in Nigeria. So we're not going to do away with it tomorrow morning because the root causes of banditry and terrorism are still there.
All right. Alex Okonkwo, still speaking on complicity and most importantly, why these bandits continue to be emboldened. We have the former Commonwealth Secretary General Emeka Anyaoku, who said that these killings that we hear of is not at the same level at which we hear about the prosecution and convictions of those that we have even been able to apprehend. I remember vividly in 2022, I believe yourself and I had that conversation. Yes, you and I had that conversation some time ago where a certain known bandit was turbaned in a particular state, and it raised a lot of questions, right? Why are we turbaning a bandit as a means to appease them so they stop attacking the people? So can we consider scenarios like this one, the first non-prosecution of bandits, the fact that a lot of people think we are babying these bandits? In fact, some say we are rewarding these bandits for bad behavior. For example, the amnesty programs that we grant some of these individuals, the fact that we train them, we feed them. There's some that we even pay salaries to. I believe there was a time we were paying 30,000 naira or so to some of them. We educate them amongst other things, and then we say we're incorporating them back into society. Do you think the non-prosecution, the non-punishment of these bandits, and the fact that we reward their bad behavior because they say they are repentant is also why we continue to see an increase in the spate of killings in the country?
Well, yes and no. I would say reward is a bit of a big word at this stage.
Right.
What is happening is this: everything we do in Nigeria is political. Don't forget, the people that were asking for amnesty for bandits also know that we gave amnesty to the Niger Delta Avengers maybe 15 years ago, or I don't remember that exactly. I think it was 2009, I think, when we started the amnesty. I'm talking for the South.
Yes.
People know these things. People know that billions of dollars have been given to people in the South to calm them down. And some of them have become multi-millionaires because of that. Yet we don't really have peace. So our oil pipelines are being destroyed, if you remember. So it's not as if it has worked, if we're going to be sincere to ourselves. These things are political. People are trying to grab for themselves and for their people. Don't forget, the bandits of tomorrow were political thugs of yesterday. They belong to somebody who cannot pay them anymore. So we are in a deep crisis. crisis. I'm sorry to paint that picture of Nigeria because it's not what I do often. Often in security matters, I try to be optimistic. But when we now dig deep into how we got to this stage, we realize that it is more political, ethnical, and religious than just security. The example you took of Plateau State, what has been going on in Plateau State has been going on for decades, and it is clearly religious, ethnic, and land grabbing at the same time. So how do you solve that with a brigade of soldiers? They have no training whatsoever on how to solve that problem, except coming to kill one side or the other, or staying in the middle as a peace zone. So the solutions that we are proposing are not adapted to the problems. They are not adapted because the problems are deeper and they are a bit complex. Let me put it that way. Because when religion comes to add to land, and then it comes to add to a zone, south of Jos and north of Jos, already they are divided. And it comes to add to political. Who is the governor? Is the governor from the north or the south? Are you seeing where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
There is no chief of army staff that can solve that problem because the problems are far beyond him. The governor is from one part of the state, the other part of the state is rebelling, because they have the other part of religion with them. Then you add to that people are coming to do illegal mining. Those ones are creating mayhem as well because they want to be able to mine on that ground to see what is under the ground. So they are driving farmers who are fighting with headsmen. Guys, are you seeing where we're going? Are you seeing that the problems are more complex? So it's not as simple as saying reward. What is going on is that everybody is protecting his political background. Where bandits have been used in the past, the person is saying give them stipends because I can no longer have those dogs I used to have to win the political position. So it's a little bit more complex. That's why I will not really caution the word of reward, but I would say once again, we are doing one thing and forgetting all the other aspects at the same time. So yes, you are quite correct in your analysis. We've rewarded some of these people in the past, or we've given them stipends in the past. But that was when most of the governors actually acclaimed for that in the northeast and the northwest. They thought that by bringing the bandits closer, they will not go back into banditry. No, most of them have gone back. They've gone back into fighting Nigeria. In fact, they've gone back better, bigger, stronger, and well trained, so to say.
Well, this is still the Situation Room on mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We're having a conversation with Mr. Alex Okonkwo. He's a security expert. He's also a political commentator. And we're talking about insecurity in the country. We're also referencing what the law says or what the law permits when it comes to trying to abate the spate of insecurity that we're seeing in the country. Alex, let's talk about the security architecture of our country. And please allow me, because I'm trying to build up to my question so that we can create the proper context for when I eventually, ask my question. The security architecture of the country, we know that the operational use of police is, within the control of the federal government, a provision that remains contentious because a lot of people are of the opinion that each state should be allowed the authority to come up with their own security structure such that it caters to the specific security problem that they have in their state. But we have reasons to believe that every time this comes up in the Senate, there are a number of antagonistic voices in the Senate. In fact, I have a couple names, of senators that continue to say they don't agree with state policing because they believe that certain governors will turn them to their personal soldiers and they probably would use them to go after their opponents. That is what some senators are saying. Do you resonate with the thought process, behind the position of these senators who are against state policing? And also, if in the eventuality that we resort to state policing, although there's been conversation about regional policing, but in the event that we actually assent to state policing, what kind of structure do you think we can put in place such that we're able to monitor it properly and the fears of the senators that the soldiers will become the personal guards of the governors would be prevented?
Okay, let's play a game. I know you. I mean, having worked with you for a while, I know you like games. Let's play a game. State police for what? Let's ask Nigerians. What are we asking for each state? Each of the 36 states, including the FCT, those 37.
Yeah.
What are we asking them? What are we asking the state police to do? I will postulate some answers so that people can work on it. Are we saying the state police will be the one to fight bandits? Are we saying they'll be collecting car tickets like when you park wrongly? Is it to be in the customary courts when a family divorce is coming up and a man is quarreling with the spouse? Is it that kind of thing? Or is it to protect schools when children are crossing the road? I'm talking of state police. Is it to escort the governor when he's going around to visit? Is it to work with the local government chairman? Or are you talking of fighting Boko Haram terrorists?
Alex, I'm sorry. Please, I don't want to, derail your line of thought, but some say that it would help with intelligence gathering.
No. Okay, let's get it clear.
Yeah.
Let's get it clear. The problem we have currently is inadequacy of manpower and training and equipment to fight terrorism. I'm talking of the real terrorism. Boko Haram, when they come in, when they try to kidnap people, when they come to attack the schools, we have a problem of that and mobility. Okay? State police will not solve that because you will still need to train those men in that police. Let's take Osun State. Osun State now employs 3,000 men and they are going to train them to become state policemen of Osun State with their uniform and their arms, right? That's what we're saying. That's a typical example. So we have to train them to the level where they become anti-terrorist police. Otherwise, it makes no sense. Anti-terrorist police in Nigeria, they go through specific training, or close to 18 months, specific training with arms. These people put their lives in danger daily. They go to fight Boko Haram people side by side, operational soldiers. These things are equal. It's not the policeman you see on the road. These are not the policemen that you see on the road that stop you at checkpoints. These are well-trained policemen that go to fight banditry. So it will still be a problem of training. It's not a problem of just getting them which state. I have a solution to that. I'll come to that later. But I'm just trying to tell you that having state police in that state will not stop terrorism. If that is the intention, but if you mean that they will do more municipal work, as in they will help the state government clean the state, yes, but they will not solve terrorism. Because they will not be trained, they will not be armed. If they could have been armed, if we have the resources, why are we doing it? The state governors, some state governors are not paying salaries. You know that. Where would they get the money to fund a well-trained 3,000 men state police with barracks, with everything, with equipment, uniform, and all that? Where would they get the funds? Where would they get the funds? That is one issue. The senators mentioned they already don't trust governors, and we've had some examples. We don't need to mention the states. We have 2 states in Nigeria currently where governors were fighting with former governors are fighting with the new ones. You see where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
So already that would have been an issue. Now imagine the opposition in that state. Imagine when the governor controls the opposition, can control the opposition in that state. Imagine where we're going to go. The governor who has already the justice in his hand and then has the police in his hand. Now let's go to where is the legal framework currently? So where does Osun State police stop? If the bandits run into Oyo State, what happens? They will call their colleagues in Oyo State, please come. We've seen some bandits run into your state. Can you pursue them or should we pursue them? Who does that? Who sets up the legal framework? Where does this stop? And when there's an arrest, which justice do we use? Do we use the Nigerian justice? Do we use the Nigerian constitution? Should we be clear about who goes to jail, who does what? And then when the governor funds you, that means the governor will select the commissioner of police of that state. That is not currently what goes on. Do you know what it means for the governor of a state, like the state we mentioned, that we actually didn't mention? If he's the one that is choosing the commissioner, my God, I can tell you how the election is going to go in that state. So we should not go into by solving one problem, create another problem, and then we now start blaming ourselves. Oh, there's another problem. First of all, where will you get the manpower? You're going to have 10,000 men in Osun State. You're going to have 10,000 men that you can vet on, and then you can validate that they're not criminals, they don't have any records. That's what we're talking about. And then you train them over a certain period to fight terrorists. No, Serge. We cannot go that way. We cannot go that way. The state police is for doing municipal job that I mentioned earlier, which is control the police, the state, control the schools, do all this road, motor parks and all that. Fine. That's not the problem. But if you're talking of what we're talking about is fighting terrorism, which is what you and I are discussing today, fighting banditry. These guys come with lance rockets, they come with RPGs. These bandits are talking about, they come with armored vehicles, where they have mounted guns. Which state police is going to fight them? You guys will run away. The state police will run away for their lives. So we're talking of 2 different things. State police, I agree. But not for what Nigerians think. It's not the solution that Nigerians think is going to happen. State police will only allow the federal police to now concentrate on banditry because they will now do the jobs state police, federal policemen are doing on the state level because they're the ones following the government. So that should stop. Let the state policemen follow the governors. is what state police can help us do, but they will not fight any terrorists because you need to train them to the level where we will have super gendarmerie, so to say, that can fight terrorism, that can take the war to Boko Haram, that can go to the forest in the northeast, go in there and bring them out, that can do surveillance. That surveillance can take 24 months, that can check into their data. We're talking of equipment, sophisticated equipment. But I'll come to that because I have a solution I've been proposing since the last 2 years, and it looks like nobody's listening. I think we should have a super team. It's a federal team, but they're all based in each state. It's what we call a super team. So 100 trained men who are in each state. That is statistics. There are 3,600 men, but each state has 100 only. These men are well trained, maybe by Israelis, by Colombians, by whoever you want, but they are well trained and well armed so that they can intervene. Even if they need helicopters, they should have. They can intervene. When there's a signal that there is a terrorist attack going on, you fly them in there within 10 minutes and they combat the terrorists face to face. But those men should be super trained, but they are not state police.
Right.
They are trained uniformly at the federal level.
Alex, thank you so very much for your perspective on that. You're still listening to the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. Please do well to join us on Facebook and on YouTube. We're talking insecurity. How can we deal with this without contravening the provision of the law? My name is Sage Babalola. We're having a conversation with Alex Okonkwo, security analyst and political commentator. It's not time for us to open the phone lines just yet, okay? I'll do so in about a few minutes. Let's get through all of the questions that we have for Alex Okonkwo. Now, Alex, I know that I might start to sound like a broken record if we continue to talk about what's going on in Plateau State, but it's important that we do so. As a matter of fact, it would be inhumane not to reference Plateau State if we're talking about insecurity. Now, there was the latest report in the Guardian newspaper, I believe the 8th, that was on Monday. They put out a report whilst they were analyzing what was going on in Plateau State. Now, we had Mohammed Abdullahi, who is the chairman of Miyetti Alakatu Breeders Association of Nigeria. He says that the Fulanis in that area have been going through attacks. According to him, the Fulanis in the area have been attacked, their cattle have been rustled, and they think that, you know, what really started this attack was on December, I believe 21st of December, a header, Bashiru Bello, was murdered in Kawel, Mushu ward of Boko's local government area by militia from Mangu local government area. He says even whilst they were, you know, mourning this header that was killed, and they were attacked again by people they believe to have been from, you know, the Boko's local government area. And so we had, you know, these headers go there to defend themselves in a manner of speaking. So he's insinuating or giving us the impression that the attack we saw in Plateau State might have been a retaliatory attack. So the question I'm trying to extract from this, Alex, I'm asking the variant between migrants in a manner of speaking and the indigenes of these places. What can we do about this variance? Because many have said, or at least from this, you know, statement that has been put out by the leader of Miyetti Ala Abdullahi, that the differences between them, the lack of acceptance between them, has continued to exacerbate these killings. What can we do, knowing that the law clearly says every citizen of the country has a right to movement? They have a right to settle wherever they desire. But we see that there is a lack of acceptance between migrants, in a manner of speaking, and the indigenes, which many have said is responsible for these killings. What do you think, Alex?
Yes, they are actually non-indigenous. Yes, we call them non-indigenous. Okay, so thank you for painting that picture. That's a lovely picture so people can understand. The problem is that this is a 30-year or 40-year problem. We were discussing it earlier before we came back to what we were saying. It is political. It is a fight for land. It is a search for minerals, resources under the land. And it's a real fight between Fulani cattle herdsmen and farmers who are mostly Hausa. Then you add to it the Christianity part of it and the Muslim part of it. Are you seeing how the problem has gone complex? So let's go back to what you said initially. Dialogue must come in. Remember when you said dialogue? This is the dialogue we're talking about. So dialogue in this case is necessary. You see, so dialogue counts for it. Because there are communal violence. Yeah, the communal violence has been going on in Plateau State for as long as I've been around. So I can't even remember when. So it's just to tell you, it's not today. In fact, the killings were worse before. It's just that they are more, they are more mediatic today. Because anything that happens, even when dog dies, it will be on social media today. But when it used to happen 20 years ago, there was no social media for you to report it. So people thought nothing was going on. People have been killing themselves between part of the areas of Plateau State for years, for decades. does not mean we should accept it. Unfortunately, it has crystallized. We've left it for years. It has crystallized. On that same soil where you have Fulanis fighting against the Hausas, you have the Christian part fighting against the Muslims. So what do you now do? Dialogue has to come in. The federal government and the state government has to have a proper discussion on how do we settle people. At the end of the day, people are fighting for land. The Nigerian person was quite right. There has always been some attack on cattle herdsmen. That's why in the 80s they used to carry dagger. You remember they used to carry knives?
Yeah.
In the 90s their knives became cutlasses. In early 2000 they started carrying all these homemade, let's call it artisanal guns. Now they're carrying a Kalashnikov, AK-47. Are you seeing it as metamorphosized? Are you seeing
the progression?
So that's exactly the problem. Yes, the problem is that we left the crisis when it was simple and it has now become complex. What do you now do? You tell them to, so obviously we're going to do dialogue and we're going to do amnesty. Those things that you mentioned earlier in the program that looked at they were negative, we would have to do them. You would have to tell people to drop their arms against some kind of amnesty. There's no other way in Plateau State, because what is happening in Plateau State now is that areas in Plateau State are calling mercenaries to call others. I hope you heard me well. A part of Plateau State, when they want to attack, they want to revenge, they are calling mercenaries to go and revenge. They are not doing the crimes themselves. They are calling mercenaries, armed mercenaries, to go and attack another area. So what are we going to do? You would have to do an amnesty to be able to know who are the real mercenaries and who are the real locals, which is why we cannot have one law for everything, which is why boundary has to be defined. You cannot take to jail the chief of a local area the same way you take the mercenary who actually killed 20 people. Even though they are both guilty, it's a little bit different under the law.
Right.
So there's a lot of work to do. Dialogue, amnesty, negotiation, whatever negotiation, and real punishment. We haven't come to that yet. But real punishment. That is when people are convicted, they should actually be sent to go to jail. Because if you attack my village in Plateau State, and we revenge, and you punish my own people, and you don't punish those that started it, we will revenge again.
Right.
People are not seeing people being punished. People are not seeing people being... It's just like the electoral problem we have. As people are not being going to jail for electoral malpractices, they continue. Why would they stop? And this boils down to the problem we're talking about of financing all these things. It means we must construct jails, we don't have it, that will judge the people immediately. They don't need to take them anywhere. Once you are captured, you are judged immediately. And you go to jail immediately, so that people will see that 5 bandits have been jailed in Plateau State. We haven't had that yet. We haven't seen any newspaper announcement saying 5 bandits in Plateau State.
Actually, Alex, the Punch today reported that 3 of suspected bandits, that were involved with the Christmas Eve killing in Plateau State, they were paraded, but they're still suspects. 3 of them were paraded, but they've not been convicted. There's been no prosecution of any kind. Do you think that maybe that encourages people to, believe that the law is really in place?
That's a good start, but we need to see them in jail. Let's see if they're convicted. I'm not saying they're guilty. I don't know yet. But people need to see people in jail. If not, nothing's going to change. I'm talking about Plateau State particularly. And you can carry it over to Kaduna and Benue State. If they have the same issues, the street states have the same issues. All these things that we're talking about have juxtaposed over the years. So it started with land intercommunal quarrels. It now added political, because one governor will come from one area, the opposition will come from the other. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Then it comes from images and non-images. So those who have land are saying those who are coming into their land are not part of their state. Those quarrels are all mixed up together to give us a salad, if I would say, a salad of problems that you don't even know where they're done. And then we must go for amnesty, because you need to know who is carrying arms to protect himself and who is actually a bandit. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When 2 people carry arms on the street, you don't know who is actually attacking or who is defending his family. That separation has to be done, and the only way to do it is to get everybody to submit their arms in a police station before so and so date. Even if you have to give them money, Australia did it. Australia did an amnesty where they bought arms from their citizens. That was how they stopped a bit of their killings they used to have in the 80s. They actually told people to come, drop their guns at the police station, and you get funds for it. Because we need to know who is a criminal or who is just defending his family. And both of them have rights.
Alex, thank you so very much, because that leads me to the next line of conversation. Who is fighting and who is actually defending? That brings me to the conversation of allowing persons to bear arms. We know that this conversation has come up multiple times. In fact, governors have argued that if the security agents are unable to protect the people, they might as well be allowed to protect themselves. But then we know that currently bearing arms is illegal in the country, and the defense for that is that there would be a proliferation of weapons. And if we're maybe successfully able to wipe out these bandits, how are we going to get back the weapons that people use to defend themselves? Also, we know that there's an article in the Constitution that gives people the right to safeguard their lives, to safeguard their properties. But then we also have another part of the Constitution that says it's illegal to bear arms. How do we reconcile this two? How do we tell people you have a right to defend yourself, and then, you know, in another breath, we say that you do not have the right to bear arms? Judging by the strength of these assailants, like you said, they are carrying weapons, military-grade weapons, and you're telling me that I can't bear arms, but I can defend myself. How do I defend myself against an assailant of that magnitude? How do we reconcile these two provisions of the law, and what is the alternative, Alex?
Okay, currently, like I said, you are a green person. Currently, to carry pepper spray is illegal. If it is proven that your intention is to attack people, it is illegal.
Right.
I said pepper spray. I didn't say, just to give you an idea of where we are, and where people think this in terms of legislation. So I am not a fervent believer in arming the citizens, because it poses far too many problems than solutions. If you have never had a gun in your hand, you will know that when you shoot it, it will bounce you back. So the first thing is, if you give people arms, they will start killing each other first before you kill any bandit. By the time you shoot the bandit once, you will get your neighbor. You will kill your neighbor before you kill the bandit. That's the first thing that will happen, because nobody has trained you in shooting. And then who decides who gets arms in terms of, when you tell me to carry arms, why would Agbero in the motor park not carry arms? Who decides who has the right to arms? Is it because you're a lawyer and you live in a Lekki that you can't have arms, and the other person living in a Kokomaiko can't have arms?
Right.
Who decides that? There are far so many problems in those things that we think, and then in the rural areas, who's going to control their control? We're not able to control our borders. We're not able to control our NIN. And you're not able to control arms. That is arms evaluation. Then who's going to import the arms that people will buy? Are you forgetting that we will buy it? The arms? Who are the ones that are going to give rights to import arms? Look, our job here, you and I and others, is to educate Nigerians that there are no things that we should be. It is just like taking aspirin because you have a toothache. It is the toothache that's the problem. It's not the ache. It's not the pain that is giving you that is the issue. It's the toothache. It's the tooth that you have to remove. So we haven't removed the tooth yet, and we're saying we should take more aspirin. In fact, take multiple aspirins every day. It's not going to solve the problem. Giving guns to your neighbors means don't look at his wife who, by mistake, you're washing your car in the morning and you look at his wife in the rural area. You're a gun now. You're a gun now because he has gun. And then by the time we go to court to say who is guilty, the man is dead now. Should be life has been lost. And so you're not coming back. So there are far too many problems involved in that. And then let me tell you something that is more critical. When bandits know that some Nigerians are armed, they will come with machine guns. That your one gun, one bullet gun, before you cock it and shoot it, you've sprayed your house. Are you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we just bring out the violence in violence. Look, let us equip our security apparatus. Let us train them. Let us get support from abroad if necessary to do the right things. Insecurity will go down gradually. It's not going to be overnight anyway. It will go down gradually as long as we do the social aspect, which have been claiming for years, as well as the military aspect. But to now tell citizens to now begin to carry arms, we will just create bandits from people who are not bandits. Do you know that there's a state in Nigeria that stopped vigilante some years ago and found that the vigilantes had become bandits? Because the guy was getting a couple years and he was being trained, and all of a sudden a new governor came and stopped the vigilante. All of them went into banditry. They were trained now. They can use the gun and they are used to getting money. All of a sudden you tell them they can't get money. What do you want them to do? They move into banditry. So this is the kind of thing we are Nigerians. This is the kind of thing we're going to create issues for ourselves. So I will not be for giving Nigerians arms because we don't know who's going to train them. We don't know who's going to import those arms. We don't know how to use them. I don't have the legal framework. People will start killing people for small things. You park your car, you scratch my car, I will shoot your leg because I have a gun in the car. So and then the police will check you at the checkpoint. The police be scared. That's what's happening in America now. That's why they're killing blacks like because police now were afraid of black people carrying guns. Nigerians, please, I am begging. It's 2024. Insecurity cannot be tackled by normal civilians. Let's let professionals do the job. Let us even equip them. Let us ask our state governors what they are doing with the security budgets so that they can equip the people they have already on ground. Let us train more men to be very efficient, and we'll take the battle to them. But while we are doing that, let us do the social and economic aspect of it so that young people don't go into banditry.
Right. Nigeria, if you're just joining us, this is the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. Please join us on Facebook and on YouTube. We're streaming the show live. You can join us and drop your submissions via the live chat option. I'll read it when I finally open the phone lines at about 5 p.m. That's after the headline news. I have Alex Okonkwo here with me in the studio. Well, virtually. He's joining me virtually. He's a security analyst and a political commentator. And we are talking insecurity in the country with a lot of reference to the law. How much power does the Constitution give us regarding protecting ourselves, regarding how much our resources can be given to our security operatives, and also how we perceive the situation and some of the solutions that have been employed by the government and how it's being interpreted by the citizens. And speaking of how much power we can give to the military, Alex, I know that the Nigeria Army have once before even proposed that we do away with the amnesty. They don't believe that the amnesty is working. In fact, the Chief of Army Staff, Taoreed Lagbaja, he played host to the Zamfara State governor, right? And he said something like, give us the free hand. Give us the opportunity to go after these bandits. Allow us to go after these bandits. And as a regular person, I would interpret that and say that there is some sort of bureaucratic restriction, to the operations of the military. So I would like to know, really, how much liberty does the Constitution provide for our military men to the point where they don't need to ask permission to do their jobs? How can we get rid of these red tapes that for some reason are preventing the military men from really doing their job?
Okay. The only limit is that we're in a civilian era, we're in a democracy. We're not in a military. That has to be reinstated. What the Chief of Army Staff was trying to say, and a lot of soldiers will tell you if you have the conversation with them, is that of course the army prefers to combat the terrorists and kill them. Of course. And thank God the military thinks like that. And they are right to think so, because others will not want to have their colleagues die or face a bandit and then the bandit will be released by the court. You understand what I'm saying? So they prefer to face them on the combat level and then eliminate them. Thank God there are military things like that. Though we are still in the democracy and we are still being watched by international community. So we cannot afford. Okay, let me now turn the question around. We have 70,000 bandits who have surrendered and they are in the north in a camp. What do we do? You surrendered, so you can't kill them anymore. It's too late to kill them. I didn't say 7,000, I said 70,000. What do we do? Of course, we cannot kill them. So we are already in a very civil situation where we should desescalate, reintegrate, and reappoint them to be back into the society. What are you going to do with 70,000 people? You must bring them back into the society. You cannot leave them. You cannot continue feeding them. They have to be useful to us. So already that is beyond what the Chief of Army Staff can do. He cannot do anything anymore. Once those people have surrendered, it is out of the army. It becomes a civil problem where the society has to take care of them. The same thing with drug addicts, that you have to take care of them. You cannot, what do we do? You throw them into the Third Bella Bridge. We cannot do that. So we are a country being watched. Now, the Chief of Army Staff was saying there is no particular blockade. After all, they've been bombarding and they've been killing and they've been arresting and all that. The thing is that the fight is well above what the army can do. Because we have all sorts of problems. We have kidnapping. We have secessionist IPOB issues in the southeast. We have Niger Delta oil issues. We have illegal miners. I'm listing them. We have the regular banditry. Those people coming to attack farmers and all that. We have headsmen and farmers clashes. We have porous border. Serge, are you hearing all the problems we have?
I'm with you.
Of course, Chief of Army Staff cannot solve all these problems. He's crying out to say the problems are bigger than what the army can handle. But we all know that. Everybody that has been involved in security in the last 10 years knows that these problems are beyond the army. So while the army has the right to combat and kill, because we're talking of killing terrorists, they cannot do that in every case. They cannot do that in every case. So they are saying, let everybody do their part. Let the traditional rulers do their part of educating their youth in the rural areas. Let families do their part. You cannot let, your son cannot come and say he just bought 12 brand new Mercedes Benz and you don't ask him where the money came from. It could be from happen. Don't you get what I'm saying? So there are a lot of intervenants. The clerics should change their message, both in the north and in the south. You cannot keep saying Nigeria has to be divided and then at the same time you want solutions. No, we have to wake up. We have to get traditional rulers involved. Schools, secondary schools, these non-state actors have to be involved. That is where that dialogue you mentioned comes in. It is not dialogue with the terrorists. It is dialogue with the people who stand between us and the terrorists.
Alex.
We have non-state actors who are very important.
Yes, Alex, we have less than 4 minutes before we round off this conversation, and it will be wrong to round off without asking the question, what do we do? And I'm asking in terms of sensitization, like you said, in terms of empowering the military, in terms of even reintegrating these repentant bandits back into society, in terms of punishing those who have refused to repent. What do we do about insecurity in the country?
This is the part I love most, but we've given some solutions. Adult tribunal, so where you commit a crime, the name should be judged. Okay? Adult tribunal. The tribunal should be in Kaduna, should be in Imo, should be in Plateau, should be right there. They capture you, we judge you, we imprison you. Okay? Second thing, dialogue at every level. I've mentioned it before, so I won't go back to that. Third thing, rapid intervention force. These are going to be with a mix of policemen and soldiers, which will bring out to train 3,600 men. Each state has 100 men, well trained, well armed. And they can intervene immediately. That means there's a crisis somewhere, we helicopter them immediately to that zone so that they can fight. There's no need for the army to go to Plateau State after people have been killed. It's too late. The killing has happened. You see what I'm saying? So there's various things we should do. There's the social aspect. Nigeria has to be a better country for it to be safer. When I say better, I mean economically. If youths don't have jobs, they will go into banditry. There's nothing you can do against that. It's either they japa or they go into banditry. So the problems, the solutions are vast, but we must start looking at them holistically. It's not just you pick out dialogue and you leave the rest, or you pick out negotiation and you leave the rest. All of them are inside there in that basket. Including amnesty, arms amnesty I'm talking about, not the one we're doing in Niger Delta. What I'm talking about is arms amnesty. You tell people to bring their guns and you give them money as a reward for bringing it, so that we know how many people have illegal guns in this country. We must find out where the guns are coming from. Okay, so these things are things we can do. I think we have other occasions to talk about it because we cannot do everything in 4 minutes. So I just went through it rapidly.
Yeah. Alex Okonkwo, thank you so very much. You've been more than wonderful on the show today. We appreciate you for your expertise. At least we were able to benefit from your professionalism, and we appreciate that. We spoke about insecurity and especially the position of the law. We spoke about what the law provides when it comes to empowering the military, what the law says about self-defense in reference to the call for individuals to start to bear arms, also the reincorporation of repentant bandits into society. What does the law say about the protection of their own rights, amongst other things? Alex Okonkwo, thank you so very much. We look forward to conversing with you once again as long as we have developments regarding insecurity in the issue, and hopefully we are able to come up with implementable solutions moving forward. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you very much. Have a beautiful day.
Have a wonderful day yourself. Thank you so much. The Situation Room still continues. Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for coming along with us up until this very moment. We're about to go on a brief break, of course, to take the news headline at 5 p.m. When we come back, we're going to have a brief conversation about accountability in government, especially with the Better Edu situation, the operations of our ministries, department, agencies, and parastatal, and what we can do to place an eagle eye on what they do, especially with finances in those ministries. What can we do to minimize the amount of financial misappropriations that we see within the MDAs? My name is Sage Babalola. You're still listening to the Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't forget that we're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube, so please do well to join us so you can drop your submissions and I can read them live on air. Don't go anywhere. Like I said, we're going to take the news headline. When we come back, we talk about accountability in government with emphasis on the MDAs, and then I open the phone lines to take public contribution. Don't go anywhere. It's still Mainland 98.3 FM.
You're listening to Mainland 98.3 FM.
Mainland 98.3 FM, your number one radio. Reaching stars, the sound of Lagos.
When your whole world comes crashing down, is look up. Assemble the team.
It's showtime.
The brains.
We
waking up.
What'd you have for breakfast?
We are the sound of Lagos, and this is Mainland 98.3 FM.
You didn't see that coming, did you?
Headline news on 98.3 Mainland FM.
Good evening. Headline news on Mainland FM. My name is Omobola Sandra. Federal government seeks understanding on partial closure of Third Mainland Bridge. Kabara pledges to complete abandoned section of Eche-Igbodo Road. EFCC and ICPC as interrogators grill Beta Edu says no one is above the law in Nigeria. Tinubu orders ITF to upskill of 20 million local artisans for exportation. NIMC pledges to clear 2-year payment backlog for front-end partners. And the foreign scene, China satellite launch stirs political strife in Taiwan ahead of presidential elections. And in sports, Super Eagles striker Victor Boniface gets side hustle after AFCON 2023 heartbreak. Manchester United outcast Jadon Sancho seals €4 billion return to Borussia Dortmund. And that's the headline news on Mainland FM. Details at 5:30.
Fantastic conversations.
Great to see you again. It's good weather. You want to agree with that?
Yeah, I love weather. Trending music.
I live the life that I love. I love the life that I live. Tomorrow.
Traffic updates.
Ojoba and Charity intersections is good. There's no cause for alarm.
Sports. And everything fun is right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch that dial.
Hey there, tech enthusiasts! Get ready to ignite your world with the all-new Tecno Spark 20.
That's right! The Spark 20 with its stunning display and powerful features is here to redefine your smartphone experience.
We've also partnered with Google and MTN to bring you even more. With the Spark 20, Google apps and loads of free MTN data, your digital life just got smarter and more connected.
Grab your Tecno Spark 20 today and step into a world where style meets technology.
Tecno, stop at nothing.
Official partner of the Africa Cup of Nations 2023.
What takes a plate of jollof rice to the next level of goodness? Is it when it is cooked with no seasoning cubes for that sumptuous taste? Or when you serve it with correct Nigerian salad, cabbage, carrot, lettuce, and a bit of kidney beans?
It's both. Season your jollof with the rich taste of no cubes and serve with plenty of vegetables. So, go ahead and elevate your meals. Today, eat for good.
The Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee, FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission, NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators, IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call 0700 225 5226, 0800 225 5226, or +234 817 665 6273. Let's work together to uphold the integrity of Nigeria's financial system. Announcer, FSRCC.
Hey there, tech enthusiasts! Get ready to ignite your world with the all-new Tecno Spark 20.
That's right! The Spark 20 with its stunning display and powerful features is here to redefine your smartphone experience.
We've also partnered with Google and MTN to bring you even more. With the Spark 20, Google apps and loads of free MTN data, your digital life just got smarter and more connected.
Grab your Tecno Spark 20 today and step into a world where style meets technology.
Tecno, stop at nothing.
Official partner of the Africa Cup of Nations 2023.
Are you seeking admission into a tertiary institution in Nigeria? Here is a big opportunity for you. The 2022-2023 admission into Èkó City Polytechnic is now open. Available courses are Computer Science, Theatre and Media Arts, Mass Communication, Science Laboratory Technology, Electronics Engineering, Accounting, Banking Operations, Business Administration, Multimedia Technology. Qualified students should have scored 100 and above in the last JAMB exam. Facilities at Èkó City Polytechnic includes well-equipped studio and laboratories, modern classrooms, innovative workshop, recreation space, and fully functional hostels. Our lecturers and tutors combine both academic and industry experience. Full-time and part-time admission forms are available for the 2022-2023 academic session at the campus Èkó City Polytechnic, Plot 100, Alhaji Onilewura Street, Ikoto Egbe, Lagos State. Èkó City Polytechnic is approved by JAMB, NBTE, and the Federal Ministry of Education. For more information, please call Moses 091 62 54 0610, Wale 091 62 92 7079, Praise 091 62 69 9996, Adelawa 081 26 580784, or visit our website www.ecocity.edu.ng. Èkó City Polytechnic, building industry-ready professionals.
To cook correct food, they always give me joy. That's now why anytime I they cook like this, I they always season them with no cubes. Come add correct vegetables inside. Ugu, tatasheo, shombo, onions. No one know they put. Now you make my pikin them, they always enjoy my cooking.
Daddy, I never will. I want more.
You summer all your food with correct vegetables. Come season them with no cubes for that to get delicious taste. Today, chop better.
Hey there, tech enthusiasts! Get ready to ignite your world with the all-new Tecno Spark 20.
That's right! The Spark 20 with its stunning display and powerful features is here to redefine your smartphone experience.
We've also partnered with Google and MTN to bring you even more. With the Spark 20, Google apps and loads of free MTN data, your digital life just got smarter and more connected.
Grab your Tecno Spark 20 today and step into a world where style meets technology.
Tecno, stop at nothing.
Official partner of the African Cup of Nations 2023.
Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial. 98.3 FM.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist and a sport administrator. I want you to listen to Situation Room with Pᴏɪᴛᴜ on mainland 98.3 FM from 4 to 5 p.m. weekdays. God bless Nigeria. Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch and I'm a broadcast journalist and a sport analyst.
Welcome back. Thank you for standing by. We had to get through all the commercials. You know, we have to pay bills. But then conversation still continues on the Situation Room on mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. We had a conversation with Alex Okonkwo. He's a security analyst and also a political commentator. We spoke about insecurity. We spoke about the law. We spoke about what's going on in Plateau State, the root cause. And ultimately, we spoke about the solution. I'm going to open the phone line so you can contribute on this. But then, like I said, I did promise that we're going to also have a brief conversation about accountability within government, and you know that this conversation is born out of the alleged financial misappropriations within the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, which involves the now suspended minister Dr. Betta Edu, who is currently being quizzed by officials of the Economic Financial Crimes Commission EFCC for 585 million naira alleged transfer to a private account. Also bear in mind that her predecessor Sadiya Umar Farouk is also being quizzed accused for some 37.1 billion naira financial misappropriation as well. Also, there has been conversations about alleged complicity of the Minister of Interior Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, because there was some transfers that was also made to a company that is linked to him, although he says, yes, I found out the company, but I resigned as director. I'm no longer a signatory, but I do have shares in the company. But that does not in any way affirm that I had anything to do with said misappropriation. Also, a few bank directors have been called in by the EFCC. They were questioned, but they were not detained or arrested. They were allowed to leave out after they answered all of the questions. So we're asking, how much more probe do you think is necessary? This has opened the door to more questions about the operations of our ministries, department, agencies, and parastatals. What do you think about the complicity of the Minister of Interior and the explanation that he has given for why his name is even coming up at all? Also, this cash transfer initiative, do you think is something that is going to be useful at the end of the day? Do you even think we have systems that can monitor whether or not these initiatives serve the purposes for which it was set up? Those are some of the questions I would like us to answer as we start to call in to talk about insecurity and also accountability in our ministries, departments, and parastatals. Please join us via the phone line 0913 6000 410. That's how you call, 0913 6000 410. If you want to call, if you want to send us a message, I beg your pardon, you want to send a WhatsApp message or a text message, send it to 0913 6000 430. And don't forget, we're live on Facebook at Mainland 98.3 FM. Let's take our first call for today. Hello. 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 Good evening to you. It's Sage Babalola. Good evening.
Yes, Sage. Good evening, Sage.
Good evening. Nice of you to join us. Your name,
yes.
please.
I'm fine. I'm Mr. Edwin from Alimosho.
Welcome. Please go ahead, sir.
Edwin, Mr. Edwin.
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. The topic I want to speak on is these cattle rearers and these cattle rearers and the natives.
Yeah.
How will somebody be rearing cattle and be grazing on people's farm and be doing it with impunity, and nobody is talking? Nobody is talking. The government is not talking. The federal government is not talking, and people and they are the same people killing people. It is not fair. They are doing their private business. Why don't they establish their own ranch? Why don't they establish their own ranch? Can somebody just go to the main road and start shading his items, his wares on the main road? Why do they want to infringe on everybody? They drove their houses out of their place, drove every other people into IDP. Why are they doing this one now? Only few people. When you talk to them, they go and bring their militia to come and start attacking people. See what they did. They killed only one person. They went to go and bring their militias, and they killed well over 200. Why is this so? Who owns those cows? Those that owns those cows, why can't they be the ranch and ranch those cows? For God's sake, they are doing their own business. Why are they moving from town to town, village to village, killing people? That's my point. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you for your contribution. 0913 6000 410 is the phone line. Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good evening.
Yeah. Good evening.
Nice to have you.
I'm Mr. Osugo from Falulu, area.
All right. Go on, sir.
Yeah. Good evening. I listen to your voice very well, but I just want to make a little contribution. You see, the people, the general system of government will copy from America. They have state police. The state police, as a matter of fact, in some areas, function as federal police. He says we cannot, some of them, they cannot afford to finance their state police. They have security force. The fund they have to pay all over the state of Nigeria. What is the we all know. We all know how they waste the money. So it's a matter of will from all those governments. So state police is very, very important if you want to succeed. If the children look at what happened there. They have to wait for almost 48 hours and nothing is done. Imagine we have state police there, which is under the control of government. You think those people will run away? Will be able to escape? They will not be able to escape. I mean, our reason that we cannot face police if we have to be, our government cannot afford to that machine gun, AK-47 or whatever that exactly we need to attack them to protect their people. No, it's a matter of look at what our civil services started. Let us fight these people. It's a matter of we. During Sagari regime, I think in 1981, when Makasini was raising this way, Tağᴇ give order. Eliminate this. We don't keep people who behave like the animals. You don't arrest them. Don't arrest the animal. Kill them. Tağᴇ give order. They eliminated the completely. They don't allow single one of them to live. All these people who arrest them and keep somewhere. Keep them somewhere for what? So please, we copy the presidential government. We should copy the right again. It is all that the presidential government. Those who don't have them, get to pay.
Thank you.
Take care of themselves every day.
Thank you so much.
Please, let's do it. Our soldiers are ready to eliminate these people. This is 45 days. But they don't give them time to do it.
Thank you. We appreciate you for your call. We definitely want more contributions. You don't have to agree with the guest. That's the thing. That's the beauty of dialogue. If you have contrary opinion, please bring it up so that we can converse and, reach a middle ground on these conversations. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We have a message on Facebook. Dayo Dada on Facebook says, "Good evening, Sage. Can you compare the Israeli government and their army to the Nigeria government and army? The Israeli government promised to eradicate Hamas, and their armies have been doing that day and night. You can see their zeal and education, but we cannot say the same about our army here in the country. All we have been getting are excuses. The same terrain they said they cannot enter, these politicians went there to sympathize with the people. So why are they lying to us?" Thank you. That truly was a country. All right, Dada on Facebook, thank you so much. We're still streaming live on Facebook on the Situation Room. We're talking about insecurity in the country. I had Alex Okonkwo join me for that conversation, and our second conversation happens to be what is going on with the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs and, of course, all of the financial appropriations that Betta Edu, that's the minister, has been accused of. What do you think about that situation, and how well do you think we can restructure such that people actually get the benefit of that particular ministry? Let's take another phone call. Hello. 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 All right, please try to make it back if you can. 0913 6000 410. That's how you call us. If you're unable to reach us via the phone line, please by all means take advantage of our WhatsApp platform. You can send your message to WhatsApp 0913 6000 410. Hello. 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 Okay, I think we have a little problem with the phone lines. Once again, I sincerely apologize. I know that a lot of you are very enthusiastic about contributing on issues that borders around security, but please keep calling. Hopefully we're able to get on top of the phone situation again. 0913 6000 410. Hello. 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 All right. Well, maybe we should use WhatsApp for now. I apologize. Please just send your messages to WhatsApp 0913 6000 430. Just send a message. I'll be more than excited to read that message. Or go to Facebook or YouTube if you like. Just go to Facebook. We're streaming live, and you can actually send your message to our Facebook platform so that I can read it. But let's try again. Hopefully we get this. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Talking about insecurity in Nigeria.
You didn't tell us your name, sir.
My name is Chief Sᴏɪᴜᴜ. I'm calling from Aʟᴇx.
All right, go on.
You see, that will tell you how wicked Nigerian politicians can be. You see, when all these things are happening, people will tell you, trying herdsmen, unknown government, on this. Nigerian politicians are sponsoring all these things to make another government look bad. They started by bombing pipeline in Niger Delta, blowing oil inside the river to make that government look bad, to cripple that government not to function. Without knowing, when they do that, they are hurting Nigerian citizens. When the economy is bad, it is bad for all of us. Because that time I was telling them, how can you be doing this type of thing? At detriment of who? Our children and our unborn children. Nigerian politicians, they are more than their heart.
All right, thank you very much, Ifujo Ugochukwu. We appreciate you for your submission on the matter. You can call us if you want. 0913-6000-410 is the phone line. You can send a WhatsApp message to 0913-6000-430. Hello.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening to you, sir. Your name, where you're calling from.
Thank you very much. My name is Madam Bello Usman. I am calling from Sheriff.
Nice to have you. Go on ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I want to speak about the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs.
Yeah, please go on.
Yes, as far as Bello Usman Bello is concerned, that ministry should be scrapped because in a recent time, that ministry has been a ministry that doesn't have anything to offer this country. The ministry has, as far as I'm concerned, it was created for those in the helm of the affair of that ministry to siphon public funds. Ask me why did I say this? Wow. The previous Minister of Humanitarian, Asia Farouk, she was accused of the same thing. And every one of us in this country, we have origin. We have where we come from. We are not just like a seed of rice or corn that germinates from the ground without origin. Even you, particularly in that radio station, I want you to tell me the truth between you and God. That if you know anybody that this is the person I knew that is one of the beneficiaries of such cash transfer by the federal government in that ministry that was created by former President Muhammad Buhari. That is one. Then number two, the ministry, both the directors and the minister of that, the director and the minister of that ministry, they should be call and investigate, and if they find culpable, they should be used as a deterrent to others that if that ministry will continue to exist. Because I don't believe in that ministry. It should be scrapped as far as I'm concerned, because the only thing that ministry is not working, the only thing that is working in that ministry is looting of public funds. Apart from that, nothing is working there. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you so very much. We appreciate your submission. You can still keep the calls coming in. We have about 7 to 8 minutes to take contributions before we take the full news bulletin at 5:30 p.m. It's still the Situation Room. We're talking insecurity. We're talking accountability in government against the backdrop of accusations of financial misappropriations that have been leveled against the minister, Dr. Betta Edu, and also all of the many individuals that have been found or alleged to be complicit in this particular situation. Hello. Hello, Mainland FM. Okay. I am so sorry. I apologize for the issues that we're having with the phone lines. If you're able to get through, well, congratulations, I guess. But if not, that's why I'm telling you that there are multiple platforms through which you can interact with me on radio this very moment. If you're unable to reach us via the phone lines, because it is jamming at this time, you can go to Facebook where we're streaming live, and please type in your submission on our Facebook platform, and I will read the message that is there. Or you can actually send your message to our WhatsApp platform. That's 0913-6000-430. That's the WhatsApp number. Or you can even send a text message. That's for those of you who probably do not have access to the internet. You can send a text message, and I would read those messages. We have a few on WhatsApp. We have Sam from Agodo saying, good evening. All the probing is good, but what will be the outcome of all of them? Most of the politicians are supposed to be probed because they are also guilty of the same offense. Many of them took money when they were governors, and I tell you that charity begins at home. Sam from Magodo sent that message to us on WhatsApp. We also have a message here. Your guest has spoken well, and the ideas he has listed are great. But one thing I would disagree with is the idea of dialogue. Sage, we have tried this and it did not work. What we need now is action and movement. The idea of creating a special team to combat this crime is good, but sometimes the government should really look. It is something, I beg your pardon, that the government should really look into and adopt. Nonso Odogu sent this particular message. Thank you so very much for your message. I appreciate you. Let's see if we can probably try to take a couple more calls. Again, I apologize that the phone lines are jamming. These things are out of our control, and I see that a lot of you are trying to call in, but we're unable to take it, which is why I'm advising that what we can do is maybe rely on the WhatsApp platform. The number is 0913 6,430. Just send your message on there the same way you do in the morning, or you can send it to our Facebook platform, which is Mainland 98.3 FM, or you can use our YouTube as well. Let's go on a brief break. Hopefully we're able to get on top of the phone situation, take one or two phone calls before we call it a wrap on the Situation Room today. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. We're actually almost out of time, but again, like I said, let's try and see if we can take more phone calls. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
My name is Oladipo.
All right.
Calling from Tɣᴇ.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I want to contribute to the thing you are talking about.
Yeah, go on.
You know, this Fulani herdsmen, they have been doing their business. They've been coming to the south. When I was very small, when I was in primary school, we used to see them. So, and they go. There was no problem that time. It is our leaders that are doing these things. They are behind this problem that is ravaging the country. They are the ones doing it. Even when we had military regime, it was not. I didn't hear about it before. It was doing civilian people when they came in. They are the ones that started all this rubbish, destroying it because they want to take over the land. See what is happening in the Benue, in Plateau. They are the ones inciting these people. They are not these people. They used to carry their cow looking for where they can get grass. They are the ones that's what they inciting. They are doing rubbish. So our leaders must be very careful. They have to investigate them. They have to investigate them, and if anyone has culpable, they should be tried for genocide because they have killed a lot of people. So thank you. God bless you.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate you for your submission. Let's take another phone call. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening. Please, sir, I need you to turn down the volume on your radio. Good evening. Yes.
Mr. Sam is my name.
Can you also speak up, please?
Mr. Sam is my name.
Welcome. Go on ahead, Mr. Sam.
There's this guy that I used to call. We're calling himself Mala Bello. Just to make sure nobody knows what he told on any radio station. Anyway, that is apart. My contribution this evening. It is the government that is not ready to eliminate all this, whether it's against Fulani men and the rest of it. They can do it, but they have, either for political reasons, they are not ready to do the right thing. Now we continue to be expressing all these issues every now and then. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We appreciate you for your call. I think we have another message on Facebook. On Tᴏɪᴛᴛᴇʀ Michael on Facebook is saying, it's unfortunate that we are in a country where value is no longer placed on human lives. If these people are not ghosts, how come the government and the military are finding it difficult to bring them down? It's not a breaking news that farmers could not go to their farm again because of the insecurity from killing and kidnapping. Farmers and herdsmen crisis is not also new to the government, but till now there has not been a solution on the part of the government. The government should not just fold their arms but do the needful. God bless Nigeria. Tɣᴇ Michael, I appreciate you for your submission. I don't know if we can take any more phone call, but I doubt that seriously. Also, I would like to tell us that from tomorrow you can still join the Situation Room again. ᴏᴏ will be here for more conversations, but on Wednesdays I will be here to talk about political, socio-economic issues, financial issues, whatever the situation is in the country. Trust me, you will get the facts and the details here on Situation Room on Mainland 98.3 FM. Again, I'd like to apologize for the many glitches that we went through today on the show, but I applaud your resilience and your determination to contribute on the show. Thank you so very much. My name is Sage Babalola. It's a wrap on the Situation Room for this evening. Don't forget to join us again tomorrow, same time, same station, Mainland 98.3 FM, 4 p.m. all the way to 5:30 p.m. We'll go on a short break. When we come back, it'll be time for the full bulletin at 5:30 p.m. Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Dear Nigerians, I am determined, I repeat, to give you the affordable and reliable power